I woke up to quite the rude awakening this morning where Trevor from Toploaded Gaming made what amounts to a slander video against Smash JT, trying his best to destroy whatever reputation I might have left on this platform for a reason that I'm having trouble figuring out beyond the obvious, and that is gaining favor with the people he's trying to defend. JT. Now look, I watched the video, I took in the criticism for what it was. I feel like I'm not the best at taking criticism, but I'm working on that, and acknowledging what your faults are is the first step to getting better. And for the most part, I was able to sit through his video and be like, all right, okay, yep, I see what he's trying to say here. I see the points he's making. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I watched the video and I'm like, these are all just cherry-picked facts that he uses to support a narrative to make me look like the bad guy. Where in full context, which is extremely important, something the commentary community could certainly do a little bit of homework on, it changes the point that he's trying to make. But he didn't want to show the full context because that would destroy every argument he was making about me, for the most part. Like I said, there are some things that are fair, for sure. I haven't been perfect. I've actually feel like I've learned a lot over the past couple of years, especially like the Pat the NES punk situation where I made a video coming at him about the Diablo Immortal situation. And then a few months later, he made a tweet and I responded to the tweet. I was a tiny channel at the time. In my defense, I was like, okay, first off, I'm a nobody. Pat probably didn't even see the video, doesn't care about me. But secondly, Pat's a public figure, so he should expect to get criticism from people. And if they want to communicate with him in the future, he shouldn't just try to blast them. He should probably, have a conversation, just move on from it, accept the criticism. Something I've covered in plenty of videos since then about a lot of larger YouTubers unable to handle criticism. It seems like a common trait from anyone who's made it. They don't want to hear the bad parts about them. It's like an egotistical thing. It's very strange. Anyways, going back to the point of what this video is, I sat down and I was gonna make a rebuttal point by point on each thing that Trevor tries to point out that was complete BS, cherry-picked facts. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life here? Like, I have a life right now. I have a full-time job. I don't have time for this BS. I don't have time to do these full-on research slander videos that he clearly spent a lot of time on that video because he searched out like 5-second clips from podcasts and saved them and then played them to support his narrative, as opposed to giving the full disclosure of what transpired leading up to that point. No. That's not entertaining. That doesn't fit a narrative. If they actually heard what I said, if the audience that you're showing your video to heard the whole thing, if they understood what I was getting at, then they'd be like, oh, okay, from that perspective in the context of what the chat was, it makes sense. But I mean, you've seen those videos where you cut and pick like all these words and paste them together so you can make anyone say what you want. That's what I felt like I was listening to when I watched this video. I'm like, that's barely even me talking with all these spliced up parts. Even the parts where it wasn't spliced, I'm like, yeah, you cut off the beginning and you cut off the end and the narrative of the context of everything we were talking about. Now, I'm not here to make excuses for everything. Like I said, I've made plenty of mistakes in my past, and I'm still going to make more mistakes in the future. But none of this has anything to do with the video that started the conversation in the first place. We keep going back to, oh, let's try to destroy the credibility of Smash JT. That way, his video that really, in my opinion, of course I'm being biased here, but did a pretty damn good job of critiquing why Tipster is a simp. Like, he can't escape that. And from my perspective, it certainly looks like someone's in Trevor's ear right now that is telling them that he needs to make these videos. Otherwise, it makes no sense whatsoever, especially with how aggressive he is coming at me with it. Now, Trevor, I'm going to tell you straight up, man, be careful with Tipster. He's very, very sneaky. He's smart. I'll give him credit. He's smart when it comes to this kind of stuff. And he's said multiple times on Twitter that I'm done with this situation. I'm not even going to make a video on this. I'm not talking about, I'm moving on from this. It's like, yeah, because you know I got you and you got nothing to say. And if you give attention to me, your audience will see the truth, and you don't want that. I get that. It makes sense. So what do you try to do? You try to slander my name through using other people. I get it. You know, it's smart. It makes sense. Trevor doesn't see it, and he's going to be like, oh, no, that's not happening. That's not what... Okay. Believe what you want to believe. I'm just, from where I stand, that's what makes the most logical sense here. Regardless of that, though, I don't want to start spouting accusations if that's not the case. Okay. I'd love to hear what your rationale, Trevor, for making that video was, because to me, there was no point to it except to make me look bad. And why would you do that except to try to gain favor with someone else? That's literally what I'm seeing out of that video. As far as Tipster's concerned, the guy is a complete hypocrite. On top of being a simp, which I called him out for multiple times, he tried coming at me the other day on Twitter for saying that I was the one that was insinuating. He uses all these words, insinuating, my sources, apparently. But I thought Tipster dealt with facts. That's interesting, because if you watch Tipster's videos, very rarely does he actually deal with facts. He'll show a tweet from Stejo or from Susie Lou and completely manipulate what the tweet actually said to fit his narrative of how awful these people are. There's literally nothing they could say that Tipster couldn't twist and spin into something that fits his narrative.
Guys, but I'm having to stop what I'm doing here because I'm being accused of false flagging a video by Smash JT. He put up this video called Tipster Hypocrisy Exposed Part 1. This guy's been critical of me for a few weeks now, and, you know, I may disagree with his criticisms, but he's free to criticize me. It is what it is. It's just part of being a YouTuber. People are going to be critical of you, whatever, right? No big deal.
In that video that Tipster posted on Twitter, I knew he was going to delete it because he would realize somebody would be in his ear telling him that that was a really dumb move to come at me and insinuate that I was the one claiming that Tipster wanted a video taken down, which I never said. In my tweet reply, I said, show me the proof, which you'll hear me say a lot because I get a lot of accusations thrown at me and there's never proof. That's a lot of the commentary community. They're all about accusations and throwing slander at people and then not needing to back themselves up because nobody's going to hold them accountable. We've talked about approved targets in the past, approved targets like Stejo, like Susie Lou, like people that everyone in the commentary community and on YouTube can pile on, and they have very little defense. So it's so easy to jump on them and get those views. But if it's someone who's not an approved target, somebody who's friends with someone in the community who screws up, then, oh, you can't talk about them. You can't say anything bad about them. Now, Trevor, you're coming at me saying that my past is filled with all these awful things and this hypocrisy. I've never flagged a channel in my life, ever. So if we're going to look into the past of people, look at the video that Tipster posted, literally showing everyone that he flagged people up to 3 years ago, all the way on his channel with like tons and tons of flags because he couldn't handle criticism. And then he realized that's a bad look a few years ago, so he changed it and he got better, which is weird. That's okay that Tipster can realize that he made mistakes in the past and get better from them. But then I make mistakes in the past and I'm a horrible human being, even though my mistakes pale in comparison, in my opinion, to what Tipster used to do. Yet you make a video coming at me, telling me how I'm hypocritical, how I clout chase, how I've made all these videos against all these people just for attention and causing all this drama in the community. Give me a break. First off, I've already said multiple times in those videos, they get clicks, they get attention, drama sells. Like, if I could make just videos talking about video games all day, I'd be all about it. I've even given credit, again, in context, where you make fun of me saying that RGT only does the eShop videos. I literally, in context, say more power to him for that. If I could get those views from it, I'd be doing those videos too, but I can't. You know what does get me the views though? Talking about drama and stuff that interests me within the gaming community and drama surrounding that. That's fun. I like that. And I can, you know, shoot the crap with that on YouTube and, you know, still have my full-time job and work that and support my family. But coming at me with this video is just completely out of the blue and unfair. And in the context, I'm going to keep going back to Tipster because I don't have a beef with you, Trevor. You can make a video about me all you want. I'm not going to reply to you, though, because I got nothing against you except for what I've already aforementioned things that you clearly are taking a directive from someone. Otherwise, it makes no sense for you to make these videos in the first place. Tipster is a hypocrite, and he's got you under his thumb. You are a puppet. He is the puppet master. Whether you see it or not, I don't care. I'm just telling you, that's what's happening from my perspective. Tipster deleted the video on Twitter yesterday that basically called me out for insinuating that he was the one. He accused me of accusing him of flagging a video down, of my video down, which it wasn't even my video, first of all. And I never accused him of that, second of all. So he deleted that video. And then I was at work yesterday. This is like a, ironically, very similar situation to the Destiny Fomo situation where they hit me up on Twitter. They tagged me, which, by the way, I was blocked originally by Tipster on Twitter. He unblocked me to slander me and then called me out and then said, oh, I made a mistake. Hey, Smash, hit me up in the DMs and we'll talk about this. All while I'm at work, by the way. I didn't have a chance to get back to him. He makes another video apologizing for his mistake, saying, look, I'm accountable for my actions, blah, 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 blah. Look, and then, you know what Tipster did after that? He blocked me again. I can't make this stuff up. I didn't even contact with him at all yesterday. He went from blocking me to unblocking me to slam me to apologizing to reblocking me. This is Tipster's, that's his day. Like, that's what he did yesterday to me. All while I'm at work and then spending time making dinner for my family and enjoying my life. I apparently, I come back to Twitter and see all that. I'm like, what the hell even happened here? And then the funniest part, someone sends me a message, Tipster's sharing your video on Twitter right now. He blocked me, shared your video on Twitter, and said, yeah, check this out, everyone. I thought Tipster was the one that said that he's done with this. But that's weird. He's still sharing it because he doesn't want to make the video, but he wants his entire audience to see how horrible I am of a person, how I'm just the most rotten human being on the planet. It's absolutely hysterical to me. And then I watch your video, Trevor, and I see all these lies out of context. And I'm like, okay, I could take my time and make a point-for-point rebuttal on all of this. And I'm like, why bother? What's the point? Because it's not going to go anywhere. I don't have the time to do it. And people who know me know that I'm a good guy. People who have reached out to me know that I'm a good person. I don't have to worry about that because I'm not sneaky. Like, I'm not a horrible human being. I make videos on things that I see happening and people take issue with it. And they call me all these awful names. They call me hypocrite. They try to slander who I am. They get people to do their dirty work for them, making these videos that are just grotesque in nature, out of context. And I'm just sitting back like, I'd like to think the average person watching this could see through these lies, but they don't. They don't. Because that's what the commentary community does. On the whole, I've noticed a lot of things on a lot of people that have been attacked that really aren't that bad, that are just kind of innocuous things. But because the person had done something bad in the past, then they use whatever they do going forward and say, oh, let's spin this to our narrative to make it fit the story that they're still a horrible human being, and that we need to keep piling on them for more views, more attention, more clout. It's okay if they do it. But if I make a video calling someone out how I see it, I'm the bad person here. Even though I'd like to think I've watched the video multiple times and I'm like, I did a damn good job calling Tipster out when I said, is he a simp? Because everything points to that. And he's even had more things happen since then that I'm like, this dude, like, he's under the microscope right now. Everyone's watching him and he's still doing stuff, simping for people like Destiny Fomo. So I'd like to think I made my point. I was clear about it. And I'm moving on from the situation. I'm not going to take all this time to try to rebut all your points that you made. Congratulations on spending 40 plus hours making that video, because it must have taken about that amount of time. But I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to go eat some lunch with my family, and then I'm going to go play some video games. It's a weekend. I don't know why we need to keep this fight going. Like, I'm done. I am legit. I'm done with this. If you can't tell, I have nothing more to add to it. So, I mean, you can keep trying to hump whoever's leg you want, Trevor, because that's what you're doing, as much as you might try to argue and disagree with me on it. But it's what's happening. And people in the know see that clear as day. And to me, you're making yourself look really bad making videos like what you just did. But keep doing whatever you want to do. Everyone's welcome to their own opinion. I have made that clear as day. I had my opinion about Tipster. You have your opinion about me for some reason. Okay. I don't really get that, but okay. If you want to make a video about me after that, I guess you can. I guess my point in all of this is Tipster is an incredibly huge hypocrite. He is. And I'm not just saying that metaphorically. You know what I mean here. Tipster doesn't even see it himself. Maybe he does. Maybe he just ignores it. But the problem is with all of this, Tipster being a hypocrite, he believes his own words, calls other people clout chasers. Then you scroll down his Twitter timeline, and all he's doing almost every single tweet, he's tagging Keemstar, he's tagging Bowblacks, he's tagging H3H3, he's tagging all these big channels trying to get attention, trying to get people to talk. And I'm like, dude, you call other people clout chasers. All you do is talk about Susie Lou to grow your channel and then tag everyone on Twitter to get attention. I'm not the issue here. Nice try, though.